Dreamers and doers. Where are you? Where are you? Dreamers and doers. Where are you? So here's the thing. Do you want to know how to get 40 clients in 48 hours? So just keep watching. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. So my next question is your business 3M3 compliant? Hello, salute. So the next question is your business 3M3 compliant? It's very important in 2024 for your business to be 3M3 compliant so you can predictably grow your business to multi-six figure. All right. So what does 3M3 compliant means? First of all, your business should be doing certain things on a daily basis. All right. Three things. It's 3M3. There's 3 plus 3. Okay. And the first thing your business should be doing predictably is really attracting leads. Capturing leads on a daily basis, first thing, because the lifeblood of a business is revenue. If your business is not predictably capturing new leads every day, or nurturing existing leads, or re-engaging existing leads, or predictably asking for reviews and referrals, you are not going to grow in 2024. That's just the facts. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So your business should be capturing leads every day. Now, when I say lead capturing, when there's an inbound call to your business and you miss the opportunity to connect with that leads, it's not just a connection. It's a missed revenue opportunity. Because think about it. How much is a client worth to you on the front end of your marketing? How much is a client worth to you? All right. Or better yet, how much do you pay to get your business in front of every single client? Because here's the thing. The saddest thing is that a lot of businesses rise and fall for lack of visibility. And the truth about the matter is that you are as good as the amount of people that know you exist. You can own a restaurant with the best recipe. If nobody knows about it, sadly enough, you're going to go under. You're not going to make it, because the reality is that in this day and age, it's a visibility game. How many people know that you exist? And the way you do that is to get inbound calls into your business, or to go in on social media and get creative with your marketing. Like, get short code DMs so that people can DM you and then start the nurturing process. So it doesn't matter whether your method of lead generation is your phone calls, or a social media, or Facebook Messenger, or Google Chat, and Google My Business marketing, or email marketing, or text message marketing. Either way, all of these channels are coming into your business. And one way to predictably make sure that your business actually succeeds in 2024 is to be very intentional about capturing these leads when they come into your channel. That's what the 3M3 is about. You got to capture leads on a daily basis. All right. And the second thing is that you got to be nurturing these leads on a daily basis too. How do you nurture your leads? Are you still fundamentally just doing email marketing? That's really a thing of the past century. Email marketing is still good. Email marketing is actually part of our package as a layered approach. But in any situation, you got to make sure that you're going for the most effective channel. You got to go the way your customers are hanging out. And people are not hanging out on email as much as it was. People are always looking for the biggest, baddest, newest thing. Like 20 years ago when email first came, everybody was on it. I remember this movie called You Got Mail. There's a whole movie about that, because it was the It was what was popping. It was what was happening at that time. But times have changed. In this day and age, anywhere from 5 to 12% of people actually open their email because it's so much junk mail. It's so much, it's a lot of spam. So you would ask me, what is actually working now? It's very important when it comes to the channels that you're using. We're talking about email, text, we're talking about voice drop. Now, let me tell you a quick story though. Recently I was doing a presentation, right? And during the Q&A, there was this lady, nice lady, that was actually sitting in the front row, right? And the whole time we're talking about messaging in the right kind of channels and what people are actually using today, about 88%. One thing that kept coming was business SMS messaging, and whether these businesses were actually equipped to text their customers back. And this lady stood up and said, sadly, because she's really sad, she said, "My grandson never calls me back anymore." Go figure. At first I was like, what is she talking about? But then she was like, every time I call my grandson and leave a message, I never get a call back. I don't know what got into him. So I said, why don't you won't you do yourself this favor? She was like, what? I was like, why don't you just excuse yourself and go outside and text your grandson? So I was like, how old is your grandson? She said, he's 25. I was like, well, just excuse yourself and go outside and send him. Do you have a text enabled phone? She's like, yeah. I was like, do you have the ability to do another text? She said, yes. She's like, I do that all the time. I'm like, well, just go and experiment. Just try this. Go outside. So she went outside and texted him. I said, when you text him, just text him, I love you. This is an experiment. Let's see what happens. And she went outside, and it took me this later. She came with this big smile on her face. She was grinning. So I said, well, what happened? And everybody else was interested too, because this is something that was done very impromptu. And it was done literally on the whim, right? And then she said, I text him, and then he texts me back. I text him, I love you, and then he texts me right back, I love you too. Just think about it. The reason why this story is so important is because you gotta meet your customers where they're hanging out. You gotta be intentional about reaching them on the channel that they're gonna respond the most. Mrs. Smith was calling and leaving voice messages for her grandson, who's 25. He does not do voice calls anymore. The vast majority of his communication is SMS messaging. I mean, it's not that he doesn't love his grandmother. He just thinks his grandmother's too old school. That's all it is. So all she had to do was still switch the channel of communication, and bang, Mrs. Smith got her groove back just by texting her grandson. So let me ask you a question. How many of you guys in the audience has a business that is text messaging, SMS enabled? It's really easy to do that in this day and age. How many of you guys have your phone number, business phone number that we intentionally text people? Because think about it. Just like Mr. Smith's son, let's call him Jacob. I really don't know his name. I didn't answer that part. Let's say Jacob is, your targeted customer. One of your targeted customers. And by far, Jacob is saying, just based on, this is not anecdotes, this is actually based on research, 88% of your customers prefer text messaging. Think about it. Who wants to get stuck in a call queue with lousy music? It happens all the time. You call a business, and then you're just sitting there in the call queue, listening to all this music that you've never heard of. And you'd be sitting there saying to yourself, I didn't come here to listen to music. I'm trying to get service. What if you have an ability and someone calls your business phone? We're still talking about the the 3M3 and the ability to predictably on a daily basis capture every leads that come into your funnel. What if you have two different businesses, right? Let's say business A on Main Street and business B on Johnson Street, right? Business A is still stuck in a call queue where people are listening to messages. Business B, as soon as someone calls, a text message automatically go out and say, how can I help? Which would you prefer to go to? And just think about your own journey. Which one of these businesses will you intentionally say, okay, you know, I'm going to this business because I get good service with them, as opposed to Johnson, where you get stuck in a call queue forever listening to music and you want to hear. So my thing is that we're talking about nurturing, right? We're talking email, SMS. Another thing is a very, very efficient, because you want to go for efficiency, is voice drop. You can layer email, text messaging, and voice drop, and really just reach your customers and find out which ones is going to be more engaging to your audience. All right, and that was really about the means of messaging, the nurturing. We don't get into nurturing as we go in this series of lives and stuff, but then the next thing you gotta do when you nurture, you close the deal. That's number 3. You gotta capture, nurture them. And I prefer SMS, because SMS has done wonders for some of the businesses that I work with. Crazy wonders. So I prefer SMS. And then when it comes to the closing the deal process, you know, booking the calendar, it's interesting. I'm in Atlanta, and there are a lot of small businesses. And it's really mind-boggling the amount of people I meet every day that own businesses, but they're actually still using their personal phone number to do business. How do you tell which one's personal and which is business? In this day and age, when you have the ability to actually get a business phone that forwards, a business phone that's text message enabled for pennies on the dollars, right? That actually forwards to your main phone. So everywhere you go, you can give up that business number and track everybody that calls that number that gets routed directly to your phone. You got to do that in 2024 if you want to predictably grow and scale your business. You got to implement, you got to be 3M3 compliant. You got to capture, you got to nurture, you got to close the deals. Now, after you capture, nurture, and you close the deals, and you trade, and there's that exchange, that reciprocity, the next thing that you do intentionally is to ask for review. Google loves reviews, and reviews are actually great. It's a feedback loop for people who are coming. As a matter of fact, I have another quick story. Crazy. My sister was going to Canada for her birthday, right? And then she called me. She's like, "What do you think? Which hotel should I go to?" I'm like, "Well, you're asking the wrong person." As of now, I've never been to Canada, so I don't know. So guess what she did? She went right back on Google and started looking at the reviews. And then I was right there on her phone, and she was literally rationalizing why she was going to go with hotel number A versus B because of the reviews. That was her only segue to, and she didn't even call them, because her intention was to book it online, but the only thing that she was using as a guide is a review. So talking about the, 3M3, when you capture, you nurture, you close the deals, you intentionally ask them for reviews. And the reality is that the vast majority of your customers want to give you a review. And the biggest problem I've seen, when I talk to small businesses, is there's no system in place to intentionally reach out to these customers and ask them for reviews. Because this is what usually happens, ladies and gentlemen. I call you doers and dreamers. What usually happens is that happy customers will keep going on their merry way. Oftentimes, the unhappy ones are the ones who leave reviews. That's why the whole process is skewed. Because you're not intentionally, you don't have a system that reach out to the ones that are happy and say, hey, you had a great time? Yes. Why don't you go ahead and leave a feedback? Let us know how we're doing. Because you're not doing that, that's the reason why the only people who leaves reviews are the ones that are mad. You know what they say, the squeaky wheel gets all the attention. They make the biggest sound when they're unhappy. So, another question, sister I was doing business with, right, was consulting with out of Boston. She's been in business for 8 years. And I'll bet my bottom dollar that she does a great job. But after 8 years, I asked her, I said, how many customers do you have on a monthly basis? She said 60. So if you times 60 customers a month by 12, that's 720 customers that she's serving on a yearly basis. But I check her Google page and she only have 12 reviews. There's something wrong with that story. Something ain't right. And I'll tell you exactly what's not right. Only thing is right is that she's not intentionally asking for review. And so the happy customers keep going away. Now, after reviews, you ask for referral. That's just a natural progression. So reviews, ask them for referrals. Because you know what? If you're doing a good job, every customer is worth 3. Because at the very least, during the lifetime value of these customers, they're going to refer a friend or family or two to your business if you're doing a good job. So referral is right there, and that's part of the 3M3 compliant system. So in 2024, if you want to predictably grow your business to a multi-six figure, you need to have the ability to check all of these boxes. Now, after referral, you go to re-engage your customer. Now, this is the biggest lost opportunity I see in my consulting journey with small businesses. Customers will have a database of 5,000 customers, all in the QuickBooks, in spreadsheet, on sticky notes, on receipts, all over the place, but they don't have a system to collectively bring all their customers into a place where they can nurture them and ask them for more money. One of the easiest money you can ever make is going to somebody who already knows your brand, a person who's already familiar with you. They already knows your service. They already know, like, and trust you. So all you have to do is to go back intentionally and ask them for more money. Of course, there has to be reciprocity. Don't just ask for money. Just give them the value. So, matter of fact, I suggest your value is always 10x more than the money you get for it. That's just my model. It has to be 10x. So here's the thing. You got to go back to them intentionally and ask them. And oftentimes, in my experience, the result is phenomenal. So if you have a group of customers that done business with you before, and you're not nurturing them back to coming back and doing more business with you, you're leaving a lot of opportunities on the table. You should do that. We call it re-engage, win back, reactivate. I mean, any one of those terms, but you get the point. You have to re-engage your customers to get them to come back and do business with you. So let's just recap, all right? To build a predictable business in 2024, you have to be 3M3 compliant. And all that means is that your business on a daily basis should be capturing leads, nurturing them into booking appointments or whatever your channel is, and getting sales. And once they have sales, you have to intentionally, all right, reach out for reviews and feedback, ask for referrals, and then re-engage them to come back and do more business with you. I know this can be really, really tough for small businesses because we already overwhelmed. We have so much going on. And sometimes marketing is the last thing that you really want to deal with. But what if you have a system in your business that can do all of this for you, like literally implement every step that I just talked about automatically? Like literally get it done for you while you're focused on taking care of your customers. All right. I have a Freedom Summit coming up online where we really gonna dive into it and talk about this system and how it works and how you can put it into your business, implement it, and get leads and get conversion. Just get more people into your business automatically. But you gotta show up. That's the first step in 2024. You gotta make a declaration. You gotta show up. You gotta be in proximity of a mentorship. Get someone who's ahead of you, one step, and get them to coach you. And then, last but not the least, you gotta have the tools and system in place to get the job done. You can't just do everything manually. No. I mean, if you're doing that, it's gonna be like the hammer versus the nail gun. You know, if you want to go slow, you just still. The hammer has actually been used for the past maybe 3,000 years, ever since iron was invented. But if you want to make a really big, huge house faster and scale it, you use a nail gun. All right. So, like I said before, how do you register? How do you register for the event? Go to webinar.tchmedia.ai. I usually will have the link. Go ahead and register. Go ahead and register for the event. It's going to be the next one's going to be on the 28th of this month, December, and we're just going to hang out and really break down your business and see how we can implement those systems into your business so you can grow predictably in 2024. Another way you can get into the webinar is to text the word freedom to my phone number. It's 404-998-4773. You're going to automatically get a link. Click on that link. That's the process. As a matter of fact, I was at an event, real story, right? I was at an event last night, and I had maybe 3 to 5 minutes to just talk to them. And I say exactly what I just said. Text freedom to 998-4773, and right away, 30 people text the word they did text the keyword to that phone number, and everybody got registered, but they didn't take the next step, which is you got to put in your email and blah blah blah, so you can get notifications and stuff, get reminded to show up. So if you do that, I thought it was really funny because when I'm looking in the back, it's like, well, all of these people register halfway. They did not intentionally take the next step. So if you use the key code freedom, text the word freedom to 404-998-4773. That's an Atlanta number, and you would get the link. Go ahead and click on that link so you can go ahead and register. My name is Haj Bakari Sila. It's been a pleasure hanging out. All right, don't ever say no to yourself. Let other people say no to you, but just don't do it to yourself. Remember, it's one of my favorite quote. A man who believes he can and the one who believes he can't. Of course, this goes for both sexes, right? Are correct. You know, it's up to you to choose what you're going to do. Love is love. I'll see you at the top. My name is Haj Bakari Sila. That's my time. Later. Peace. All right, now I gotta turn this.